Hey guys, this is Gerry O, reporting for Kids First. Right now we're at the Jim Henson Studios, and it is amazing. And we are going to interview the executive producer for Doozers, and also the son of the founder of Gumby. It's going to be amazing. We're going to learn so much about both, and it's just going to be fantabulous. So definitely stay tuned. A quick little fact that this whole studio used to actually belong to Charlie Chaplin in the 1930s. Hey guys, this is Gerry O, reporting for Kids First. Today we're interviewing Halle Stanford, who's the executive producers for the Doozers show. How are you doing?
I'm doing great today.
So my first question is, out of all the Doozers, because in the Doozers it's the Pod Squad, there are four main members. What is your favorite?
Oh, my favorite. I love that question. I think I love Flex. Flex is the one with the curly blonde hair, and he's more of an introvert, and I am too. So he's not very he's not the one that's so outgoing. Usually see the star characters being the outgoing ones, but he's the one that's more thoughtful and a little shyer. But then he has a lot to do. He has a big role with the Pod Squad.
Yeah, I watched a couple of episodes. It's a really good show.
Oh, well, thank you.
Of course, it's a wonderful show. Even for me, I know it's meant for younger kids. It's very entertaining for me to watch. So my next question, it's about Jim Henson Studios, which is now 60 years old. Out of everything you guys did, including the amazing Muppets,
Yes.
what do you think is your favorite work?
Of the 60 years or the work that I've had a great pleasure of working on?
60 years, the entire
Okay,
thing.
Yeah, okay. I'd have to say Dark Crystal. I am a huge Dark Crystal fan. I remember seeing the Dark Crystal in the theaters. It was a movie that sort of stayed with me. It was all creatures, all puppets, magic, and so ambitious. As I got older and I thought about how Jim Henson made it, it was just the most ambitious project to do an all fantasy feature with no human beings, just all puppetry. So I just thought that was marvelous. But it's also a franchise that just keeps going. So anytime we delve deeper into the mythology or we create new books or working on, new features or TVs, hoping that we can get them greenlit, it's just so much fun. Like, it's a deep world. So it's exciting.
Yeah, that's what I like about Jim Henson. You really will never find here anything serious. It's all just fun, meant to be all fun and entertainment, which I think is fantastic. You come to the theaters to have fun, to be entertained, and you are.
You are. And also, he would make sure that you'd have a spectacular experience. So even seeing Kermit riding a bike, right? That was that blew all of our minds. Like, there's a puppet riding a bike. How did he do that?
Magic.
It's magic. It's Henson magic. So yes, I think he always wanted his viewers to have a just fantastical experience, whether it was funny, right, like the Muppets or Fraggle Rock. Although Fraggle Rock had some real meaning too. When he created Fraggle Rock, the first thing he said to a group of people was, "Let's make a show that'll change the world." So, but Fraggle Rock I think of as fun, but something like Dark Crystal has kind of deeper meaning, right? So he had two sides of the stories he'd tell, really fun and whimsical, but also kind of a deeper connection with the earth and, your light and your dark side. So he explored a lot of different kinds of stories.
Yeah, definitely. My next question is actually related to Froggle Rock.
Okay.
So the Doozers, some characters are actually from Froggle Rock, right?
Well, the mythology that we got to create on the new show is that the Doozers in Fraggle Rock are the Doozers of Fraggle Rock, but there are Doozers all over the earth. Yeah, so we created Doozer Creek. And Doozer Creek is where our Pod Squad is from, and this particular group of Doozers. And we created Doozer Creek in a way that we thought, okay, maybe this could be anywhere in the world. Just a little bit outside the city, a little bit in a forest, so maybe it's Northern California.
Maybe.
Maybe it's Germany. Maybe it's somewhere in South America. So we try to create this little fantasy of where Doozer Creek was. But in the Doozers, and I don't know if you got to see this episode, we did have a Doozer World Expo. So Doozers from all over the world came to visit. Yes. So we see Doozers from like where the snow is, Doozers from the mountains, from the jungles. So it's kind of, we've blown out the Doozers. They're everywhere.
And what kind of made you want to create something that's almost based off Froggle Rock, a continuation from Froggle Rock almost?
I love the Doozers. So I always loved the Doozers. I thought they were amazing. And I think the thing that we loved about the Doozers too, and we were thinking about sort of relaunching new shows at Henson, and sometimes we'll take our classic brands, right, Dark Crystal, Labyrinth, Fraggle Rock, and think about how we can evolve them. We're just thinking about the Doozers and how they're these little guys in a big world making a difference. And we thought, wow, we think preschoolers could really relate to that. They're little, they're in this big world, but they can make a difference, and they can learn, and they can build and do. So we just thought they'd be just this sort of great heroes for little kids.
Yeah, it's kind of almost like the STEAM program: science, technology, engineering, art, and math.
Yeah.
It's kind of that because they are design, create, innovate. That's their whole message.
I love that you know the message. Thank you for listening. Yes, that is the message. It is STEAM. So we love that extra A, the art, the design thinking, which I think sometimes, when people think about STEM, right, or in the science learning, they don't think that art is a part of it, but it is. It's a huge part. Imagination's a huge part of it. So we made sure to show our Pod Squad doing all of those things artistically and scientifically.
And instead of the whole story and the deep meaning behind all the Doozers and the almost lore of the Doozers, there's also the songs.
Yes.
And there's even some karaoke songs on the new DVD. It's the first time Doozers are on DVD. So what is kind of like process? The first time you want to create a song, what's the process to the end?
Oh, okay. There's wonderful songwriters and producers who could speak much more eloquently to this than me, but it usually starts with the writers having an idea of what they want the song to be. So they may say, here's a song here where they sing a parade song. And so then we identify the songwriter that might be the best one for that type of song. And then they'll take a crack at it. They'll take a crack at it, with the lyrics and music. They'll send us a demo, and the demo we'll listen to. It'll be rough. We'll give notes, and then they'll take it to the next step, and they'll produce it, and then we'll hand it over to the network, see if they have any notes, and refine it if we have to. And then the song is produced and delivered. It's a lot more detailed than what I'm saying. And like I said, I'm sure songwriters all have different processes. Probably some of them write it just first the lyrics, then the music. Probably some first the music, then the lyrics. Some write in teams. So in this case for Doozers, it was a team effort by a company called Eggplant, which isn't that appropriate for the Doozers, Eggplant. So they did all the music for the show, including the score, which is sometimes different. Sometimes you have songwriters and the score and different people doing it, but in this case it was the same.
And do you have a favorite episode of the Doozers?
Oh, I do have a favorite episode. I have many favorite episodes. I have two favorite episodes, but I'll tell you about the one. It was a derby race. And I love the boxcar derby races for Little Rascals when I was a little girl. I love that. So we did that with the Doozers, and they each create their own, but then doesn't quite work on their own, and so they decide as a group effort to put all their good ideas together and have one car that does win the race. So I like that. I like the team effort. I like the designing of boxcars. I thought that was really fun, and the racing. So that was my favorite.
And do you think the episodes, they each have their own separate message for kids, or that like the entire show has a sense of one message?
Well, the entire show does. So when we create a show at Henson that is for preschoolers, the curriculum always sort of drives everything. The stories, who the characters are, how they learn. So the curriculum in Doozers is design thinking and engineering. So that's the big idea. But yes, every single episode had a different kind of message or idea. So there's always an emotional message, right, for the kids, like sharing or being a good friend. But I'll give you an example of one particular episode. One of the things in design thinking that they encourage is to do prototyping. So a prototype would be you'd create a copy of something, to test it out. So they wanted to create a sandwich shop. And so they had to prototype. They had to test practicing doing a sandwich shop on Doozers. And so we sort of showed the idea of prototyping, right? So then kids can think, oh, okay, well, if I want to prototype something and test it out, that's a good idea. So anyway.
And one more thing.
Okay.
I wanted you to sign a copy of the Doozers' first episodes. I actually have it here.
What are you talking about? I feel like I should write the whole last bit, where they'd sing the chant. We did it. It's done. But I'm not gonna sing the whole chant. There's nothing to it when you do it. I'm gonna sign that, okay?
Thank you.
Okay. So thank you. I'll just sit here for a long time and sign this. Do you have any other questions for me?
I do not.
Yay, here I am. I signed it. Ta-da!
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for coming and asking us all these wonderful questions and interviewing and being enthusiastic about Doozers and Jim Henson.
Thank you so much for letting me talk to you. It was a lot of pleasure. To our viewers, definitely check out the Doozers DVDs. You can find them in stores and online for instant streaming. So definitely check it out. Thank you so much for talking to me.
Thank you. Good to meet you.
It's nice meeting you.
Nice to meet you. Bye.